Tell me about the time when you didn't know if you would make it.
Okay, that's every other day. There are times still I don't think I'll make it. You have times where there's conflicts with a student, or there's times where there's conflicts with a parent or a family, or there's a conflict with the district, or there's a conflict with your vice principal, and you just say, okay, am I going to make it through this? And if you do make it through it, what's going to be the other side? It's going to be like, is there going to be permanent damage? There's two types of damage. There's temporary, and there's permanent damage, and you try to avoid permanent damage at all times. But there are a couple times I think during every year you wonder if you're going to make it. And I'm not going to sit there and talk about the pandemic, but I had, I shouldn't say we had, times that, you just go, okay, so what's this going to look like on the other side? And am I going to be able to make it? I was really questioning if I was going to make it through the pandemic as far as going from zero to virtual. You're going from going 100 miles an hour to stop to virtual, and then you're totally switching gears and totally switching the way you teach, how you teach. The curriculum has to change somewhat because it's virtual, and then are you making an impact with the students? So when they come back from the virtual, or they come back from the pandemic, are they going to be able to make it also? Because it's a two-way street. You're both there. Yeah, there was a lot of times in this last year and a half that I didn't think I was going to make it. A lot of things kept me going. The big thing, whether you make it, and your disappointments, and the struggles you have, what gets you through those is the people you work with. And people always go, God, why do you work where you work? And I always tell them, I said, I've been offered more money. You've been offered more money. Everybody's been offered more money, especially now with special ed and transition's huge. But the question is it the money or is it the people you work with? If you like the people you work with, stay where you're at. I'm giving you job advice right now, because you're not going to find that. You're going to go somewhere else, and it's not going to be the people. Not that you're not afraid of change, but you get along with people you work with. You work well with the people you work with. Not everybody agrees all the time, which happens all the time, which happens in any work environment. But overall, I've had two of my instructional aides for 7 years. Do we agree? We still don't agree on everything, but we are successfully working together. So that's what you look for, and that's what gets you through those times you don't think you're going to make it. It's the people you work with that gets you through those. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it, and they just kind of pull you through there. Hopefully, I answered that question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered it correctly, but
Okay. Pick the next one. What's an object you still have from childhood or maybe from teenagehood? And what's the story behind it?
I have a stuffed tiger named Tiger, which is not original. Probably 45 years old, 50 years old. It got me through my tonsils. I had appendicitis. I was a basketball player. We were in the finals of this big holiday tournament. In the semifinals, I sprained my ankle really bad. Really bad. And I wasn't going to be able to play in the championship, supposedly. That's what they told you. That's what we told everybody else. I probably shouldn't have played in the championship. But you kind of wrap it up, put some hurt no more on it, and then you jump out there. Because you know what? You're 16, 17 years old, and you're bulletproof, right? Well, that, with my Tiger, got me through. We lost the championship, so I don't know if I should have been there. But that Tiger has been moving through all the times. I've had 2 Achilles tendons that I've torn, 2 operations there. I've had 2 knee replacements. So let's look at me. Okay, I'm a mess. Appendicitis, tonsillitis, 2 torn Achilles tendons, 2 new knees, and I just got my other one in June, my new knee in June, and been there the whole time. So
You're a tiger.
you're a tiger. I don't know if I'm a tiger.
A cat's got 9 lives. How many?
Yeah, it's mystical, you know. Some of the stuff that you keep around. Another thing I do have, and it's not really my childhood. It's from my son. He was going to what was that? It was elementary school, and the bus driver carved out of wood chess pieces. But he carved this thing for my son. It's a tiki, it's a little tiki thing. It's a tiki like this, wooden, very nice. My son gave it to me. It's in my car, and it's been in my car. Okay, he's 21. He got that maybe when he was 10 or 11, and I still have that. It's still in my car. That's another thing. It's not my childhood, but it's one of those things I held on to.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. What's the happiest moment of your life?
Oh boy, that's there's never going to be one moment when you have 2 kids that it's going to be the happiest moment in your life because they're not twins. So I had them at 2 different times. So I have to say, the birth of my kids, and obviously married my wife. You got to realize being with me is difficult, but I've been married 33 years. I'm going on 34 in this January, and so you have to be happy to be with the person you married and for that long, and especially in this day and time. But the birth of 2 wonderful children, and so there's 3 things right there. I think the birth of my children and marrying my wife.
Yep. And one more, last one.
Mm-hmm.
If you could share with your family your most important values, what would you say?
And this is what I believe is the meaning of life. People always go, oh, then what's the meaning of life? And everybody goes, oh, I don't know. It's relationships. Us as human beings, you cannot be successful, you cannot survive without relationships. Positive working not just working relationships, but positive relationships with other human beings. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree on politics. You don't have to agree on color of a car. You don't have to agree on anything. But you do have a relationship, and it's a relationship that you both understand, or you and the 10 people that are around you understand that we're not going to agree on everything, but you know what? We're going to get along. So my big thing is relationships, and I think that shows up in my work. That I really try to make sure that I have good working relationships with the families of my students, because they are, as I said at the beginning of this whole thing, 50% of making a student successful is with the family. So those are important relationships. Relationships with the people I work with, extremely important. And then, of course, the relationships with my family. So relationships, meaning of life. Anybody ever ask you that question? Relationships, and break it down like I did, and you'll be fine. A lot of people, those are the values. I think you have to value other people. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with anything about them, but you do have to value them, and that's what you need to do.
I totally agree. It's also the secret to long life.
I don't want to get into the medical, psychological part of it, but stress is not good for you. And nothing causes stress than you not getting along with somebody, you planning vengeance or revenge or something on somebody. Your life is going to be short, very short. And there's going to be physical things and mental things that go with that, which are not positive. So kick that out. Doesn't mean you're not going to get upset. Doesn't mean you're not going to get mad. It just means you cut those things down a little bit, and you just kind of bring yourself around quicker. There's times I get upset, and you just have to, is this the hill I'm going to die on? Is this the battle I really want to fight? And you pick those battles, and you pick, one out of every 100, maybe you're going to pick. But I think where people are fighting every battle that comes up, whether how big or how small it is, those you're not going to last long. You really, really, really are not going to last long. It's going to be tough. So relationships, keep them positive. Understand.
Wow. Yeah, amazing answers there.